What's up? What's up, guys? It's Krystle Chats, and this is the Healthy Gossip episode. Yes. Woo! 8. I have Alex Kahn, the on-air producer in his house. What up?
Hello, hello.
So handsome.
Trying.
Just so goddamn handsome.
He is not. You guys can never see this guy unless you get on Instagram. Alex Kahn is not funny. And then today, I'm really, really excited. I have a cool guest.
Whoa.
I always say I have a special guest. Today, it's a cool guest.
Whoa.
You know,
We're changing it up a bit.
I have Kellen Schneider in the comedy pop-up His House today. What up?
Not much. Just hanging out in the comedy pop-up His House.
And look, as handsome as you also are, I saw you post a picture with a filter. You're also beautiful. You look like, I thought it was Annie Letterman.
Dude, that is actually a real person and not me. When the Snapchat like girl filter was going around, I have a friend who looks exactly like me. Like in girl form, we have the same hair. And I texted her and I was like, is it okay if I post this picture of you and say it's me with the Snapchat filter? And it look like people think it's like actually so I feel so bad for her.
Bummer. Well, you'd make a hot chick if you looked like her. So.
I'll take it.
Perfect.
I'll take it. People always think that I am a woman from behind because I got a big ass.
Beautiful hair.
Do you?
I do, yeah.
Can we see it?
Yeah, sure. I'm not gonna like pull my whole ass out.
Yes, obviously.
Okay.
I just want to,
But it is on the internet.
Let's see if we can see it through the pants. Okay.
You gotta curve your spine a little better. Poke it out.
Yeah,
Yeah.
we can see the potential.
Yeah,
We can
it's
see the
there.
potential. Okay.
A big
So
white
Oh,
ass.
big wide.
I try to make this podcast not about just a bunch of comedians talking about comedy, but it's episode 8 and I haven't done that once yet. So like today I actually want to talk about comedy a bit, and that's actually nice to meet you.
Yeah, we did
This
one
is-
open mic together.
Yeah, this is our, and that's kind of how a lot of people meet these days. They see each other at a mic, maybe hear their handle or like see each other on, shout out to Rachel at Bert's Backroom, and it's like, oh, okay, cool. I like their set. I like their stuff, or they're cute, la, 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 whatever. And then, your stuff is really funny.
Thank you.
You have some fun content on there. Actually, it's funny because that was what inspired me to post my dude picture
Really?
from Snapchat. I
Hell
was
yeah.
like, oh, that's a great filter. I've got to try this.
Snapchat should pay me. Shout out Snapchat. Give me your money.
Right? No, seriously. And I just look like a creepy, I believe it was a club promoter, is that everyone was saying.
Yeah, you really
I was
did.
like a Persian
It's
dude.
horrifying.
Yeah, it's okay. I'm an inner rapey douchebag on the inside. That's just my energy.
That's what- yeah,
We
that's what
know.
you wanna
We've
be.
been listening.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm
Yeah.
very rapey. It's probably one of my best jokes, but so come to a show to find out about that. Anyways, oh yeah, and we'll go ahead and plug it now. Kellen and I are going to be on a show together at the Ice House,
True.
July 11th. Come through, little stage, Pasadena. Holler at your boy and girl.
And boy version of girl and girl version of boy.
Yes, absolutely.
They'll all be there.
Yes, come see the It's.
I don't know if you've ever been to the Ice House, but you'll definitely not be the only Persian man there. So. Or the only club promoter.
I haven't
Sips
actually. I've never done
tea.
the Ice House. I've never done it.
Okay, good.
I'm excited.
If we can get that room to be packed, it is the best stage I've ever been
Small
on.
room,
Really?
80 people. Yeah, it's a
It's
good
80.
time.
It's yeah. I'm gonna
Small
promote
room's
it. and
80.
all my friends are in town that week because we're all going to VidCon,
Nice.
and it's in Anaheim. So I'll just make
Is
them
that the
come.
YouTube one?
Yeah,
All right.
yeah.
So when I did that room the first time, it was almost full. I wasn't even telling jokes, and the crowd just.
Oh, I love that shit. When you just go into cadence and you're not even doing bits.
Right,
Yeah.
right. You don't even have to. You just talk about your life, and people are like, God, she's just. Unfortunately, that's kind of hacky, but it is what it is.
No, but it's nice. It's like a nice breath of
Oh,
fresh air. You
Absolutely.
can just like make fun of the audience.
And then you
they're-
do a bar downtown, and you think about hurting yourself.
Oh
on
my
the way
god, yeah.
home.
I lost
Yeah.
I lost a crowd downtown because I was doing this like Applebee's joke I have, and I was getting to the setup, like just doing like the opening shit, and the guy like was like, Applebee's has drinks for $1, and I was like, which is what I was about to say. And he goes, I was just like, do you want to finish the joke, man? Like, just fucking with him. And I'd had the audience on my side. And then midway through, I said that to him, and the whole audience turned
You
on me.
lost
And I
him.
was like, how the fuck?
That's the thing.
Downtown
Yeah.
is, I was like, really, like, I have a school shooter joke, and that was fine. And I tell this guy to finish my joke, and you guys get mad? Like, that's crazy. It's downtown.
That's downtown.
Downtown vibes.
Downtown.
I've actually never done a show downtown.
Really?
I've always wanted to do that Clown House room.
Clown House used to be my absolute favorite open mic. They've changed it.
Really?
I still like it. I don't dislike it, but they used to have a cool format where everyone would do 2 sets. So
Okay.
you do 3 minutes of something called clearing. You just talk about your day, and people can tell when you do material, and you feel like shamed.
Oh,
nice.
And
Good.
then people go up a second time and do 7, and you go in the order. So if you get there early, and you sign up early, you get 10 minutes in. You're there for an hour, and you'll get 2 different sets in and leave. So
Oh,
it
that's
used to
not
be
bad.
one of my favorites. But downtown's great. What's Scott Austin, Swamp God Scotty on
Yeah.
Instagram? He's got a great show, free first of the month show. A lot of brewery shows
A
downtown.
lot of brewery shows.
I lied. I've done a brewery show.
What'd you do,
Sorry.
Angel City?
Yes,
Oh,
I've
it's a
done
great
Angel
show.
City. Oh, my bad. Yes, I forgot.
show.
I forgot that's downtown. It doesn't feel downtown.
No.
It's definitely downtown.
It
It's
feels
huge.
way nicer.
Anything that big,
Whoa,
Yeah.
whoa! The bricks fell off the wall.
the acid is kicking in.
Ah, shit.
Yeah, the walls are falling around us. No, yeah. My other favorite mic that's not traditional is at Fourth Wall. They have where all of the comics go put ideas in the bucket.
Is that the 4 o'clock? The improv
yes,
mic
that
they did?
sounds right. Yeah, and then you just riff on the topics that they pull out, and that was a lot of fun.
I love that shit. I like. It's
Yeah.
nice because like, you do open mics and you're either doing old material and just like trying to feel better about yourself, and that feels hacky. You're doing new material and that sucks ass.
Yeah.
Or you go and fucking do, and like, especially when you do new material right after you've done a show where you did your like polished shit, and then you go and do an open mic, doing new material, and you're like, why the fuck am I doing this?
Yeah.
But
Well,
then when they have those like fun mics, like that shit, or like clean mics are fun.
Or I feel like
Are they?
They are
clean mics.
purely for the challenge of
the-
like,
the
do I
exercise.
have anything? Like,
Yeah.
can I like just?
I
can
have
do
to
this?
start hitting a lot of clean mics because I actually accepted a clean show offer, and I'm not a clean comic, but you
No,
know,
yeah.
I've definitely.
What are you gonna talk about?
A lot of my mom's stuff can be written clean because
Yeah.
I talk a lot about her being Filipino and growing up Filipina.
They're not
and-
very clean.
No,
Oh my
they're. I
God.
said they can be. I'm going to talk about like.
I'm sorry, that was a joke.
That's
I
gonna
didn't-
get me in trouble.
No.
I didn't even
No,
say it.
okay. I haven't even said this on stage, but I have this snippet about my mom that talks about how like when she found out I kissed a boy for the first time, and she's like, "Is your pussy itching?" yeah, about because the setup is basically
You
how
said clean material about your mom?
how abusive. No, because he said they're dirty. And guess what? Did you guys see Joe Coy's special?
No. He's so fucking funny.
Holy
Is it good?
Shit, man. Well, for me,
Is it Netflix?
first
Is
of
that
all,
the
I was
right
high as fuck, and I'm Filipino, and I was calling everything out before he said it, and I lost my damn mind.
Incredible.
I lost my damn mind. Like, for example, one thing is he talks about getting extra shit from the fast food restaurants, how his mom used to make him do that. And I was all, napkins. And then his whole bit was about his mom. Sorry, spoiler alert. Getting napkins. Another one, spoiler alert, is how to cook rice. And
Something I've never done correctly. Ever.
well, so in Philippine and Asian households, you have the rice cooker just going 24/7, and you rinse it until it's clean. And I called that out too. I was like, yeah, he's gonna say how you have to wait until the water runs clear. He like literally word for word. And then the way you measure it is by this line on your finger, and then you dip it in to make sure the water's right above it. And I was all, he's gonna say this, he's gonna say this, and then of course he says
did.
this. Everyone lost their shit because it was just, it's so true.
It's
unfortunately.
nostalgic to Filipino people. It
Right.
hit really hard with its audience, yeah.
Right.
so if I watch it,
I don't know. I mean, like, I'm sure some people who maybe grew up, like, if they had a Filipino friend.
I should watch
or
it. I
something.
used to date a lot of Filipino girls. And
Filip-
like the
dating
first time you see the
Filipinos.
cup in the bathroom, and you're like, what the fuck is the cup for? Like,
What is it
to,
for?
To rinse your backpack.
yeah, you got to clean out, dude.
gotta,
You know how dirty they think white people are for using dry paper to wipe their ass? Like, yeah, isn't that right? Don't people, other cultures look at us and they're like, just dry paper? What are you cleaning?
guys, I'm from like suburban Iowa. You have to understand that this is a crazy, like this is
I know.
so outside my
I-
world.
I get it. I get it. I mean,
Everyone in Iowa is as pale, if not paler than I am.
oh.
Yeah.
But he's funny. He'll help you understand.
Okay,
Like,
cool.
even one of the things is he talks about how Spain invaded the Philippines and how Filipinos are just Mexican Asians.
Mexican
like, we're
Asians,
just,
yeah.
he's like, we're just the Mexicans of Asia, you know, which is so true. Like, if I ever, no one knows I'm Filipino, especially since I'm mixed. So, yeah, that's that about Joe Coy. I mean, yeah, you gotta and watch it with a Filipino friend if you have one. I'm like, God,
I gotta make a Filipino friend.
I'm a Filipino.
Did you
Okay, we
start?
can watch it.
Did you start comedy out there, or did you start here?
I started comedy, like, I didn't do live comedy.
Wait,
till I
when did you move here? Sorry.
I moved to LA 2 years ago from Nashville. So
Okay.
I went Des Moines, Nashville, here.
Okay.
I started making like shitty YouTube videos when I was like 16 with my friends, and they were awful. We just put them on like private so that people can't fucking find them, because they were just rough. But it was like my first start. And then I went to college and I got on a sketch team.
Okay.
Did that. Then we started doing improv on the sketch team. Then a club opened up in Nashville. Started doing improv there. Did stand up there once. Did stand up at another place once in Nashville, and then moved here. And then there were a bunch of people from my college sketch team out here. Here's the gossip part. You ready? We're gonna
Yeah.
here's gossip.
Do
right
it.
here.
Let's do it.
So I moved here, and I was homeless for like 3 months and just couch surfing and shit, like everybody does. But I had a job, which is like a weird backwards thing. Most people like have a place and then don't have a job, and I had it backwards. So I was like couch surfing, but going into like a routine. It was very strange.
Whose address did you use?
The one that I like lived at the most.
Okay.
And because like I had to get a new license because otherwise I was gonna have to go back to Iowa for jury duty, and so I had to lie and like provide court documents and shit and get a new
Okay.
license. It was hell. Started doing sketch with a bunch of people that I went to college with that were on that team in college that were out here, and like wrote for a show, did a show, wrote for another show, and then they kicked me off the team but kept all my jokes and like sketches
Ew.
and shit.
That sounds like some classic
LA
bullshit.
The most LA, but it was
Hell yeah.
also like all the people I lived with were on the team, and all the people that like the only people I knew out here. So I lost all my friends, all my like creative collaborators, and roommates, all in the same like fell swoop. And so then I was like, well, fuck, I gotta start. I'm not gonna not do comedy, but I can't do sketch, and I don't have the money to do like improv classes because they're fucking $1 million. They're
Yes.
$1 million, and it's a cult. It's a goddamn cult out here.
And they're gonna tell you. They're gonna tell you what you can and can't talk about.
Yeah.
it's
And I
changed.
didn't like it. So I was like, I'm just going to start doing stand up. I've always wanted to do it. I've just been kind of like scared shitless of it, despite having done like theater and shit.
Especially when you don't have a lot of friends
Right.
or money.
I have no friends, no money. I barely have a job. Like, it was just
Right.
like, I just got a place. Like, I'm so out of my shit. Started doing stand up at Karma Lounge over like this part of town.
Okay.
And I worked in West Hollywood, so I'd drive for an hour and a half in traffic, go do 4 minutes, eat absolute shit, and didn't know, like, I think every comic does this, but, like, I was trying to write a new set every week.
Yes.
The, like, early mic shit.
Yes.
And so I was like, fuck. And I was just going and, like, eating shit, and I would, like, leave and cry in my car and then go home. And, like, but I didn't have any friends to go home to, so I would just go home and just, like,
You're
be sad.
sensitive.
Yeah, oh, yeah.
Good.
And that was when you first started.
That was when I first started 2
And
years
you've gone
ago.
through that probably 10 other times since. So, I mean,
Oh,
and if
yeah.
you haven't, you're going to. Yeah.
Oh, yeah,
that's-
well, because it's all the fucking plateaus and
going
shit.
home alone crying is like that's a occurrence.
So
Yeah.
I think I've only really sobbed once, and that was because I started in Texas, and I expected to eat shit. Like every time I ate shit, I was like, "Yep, that's what they say." Like I got
Yeah.
set up to like I knew that was what was supposed to happen. But then they booked me for this bar show. I got super lucky for some reason because I was still at the point where I didn't care if it was a show or not. I always had my index card, and I'm
Yeah.
like, "Fuck you guys! I'm goddamn new at this."
Yeah.
Suck my dick. I'm practicing. Like this is hard. But then for some reason there were so many people in the room that I put my little index card down, and no, but I obliterated
What?
the audience. I could have probably dropped the mic.
That's
the
fucking-
room erupted when I did my last joke. And goosebumps, I was like, yeah, I'm fucking good at this shit. Okay, so word got around. The next week, a lot of people showed up again thinking like, oh yeah, I got to see Krystle, man. She's
Comics or people?
people.
Ah.
And of course, that was before I didn't know. I was
Yeah.
still note
Like
card.
did you invite them out? A bunch of people?
No,
or-
like people, like I knew a lot of club promoters and
Oh.
the people who, again, this was a long time ago. And then basically, I kind of tried to do some of the repeat jokes, and it was a little more urban, if you will, to where some of my jokes didn't quite it was more like cringy than it was funny at the and then because I think their promoters they brought their own crowd and the first time it was my crowd.
Yeah.
You know, and then I don't think I've cried.
You gonna learn today.
I cried that was probably top 3 worst cries of my life because of how painful it was. Because you got to get off and like hang out still, you know,
and
it's like,
hold your face up, like because you can't be like in front of everybody. I suck ass, you know, like you have to like
it's the worst.
I only couldn't keep my face up after a show one time, and I almost cried in the room, and I was like, this was early on. I was doing. You remember the Hollywood Hotel's old room? Did you guys ever do that?
No, I still haven't been.
So the setup for the old room was, it was like a hotel ballroom, and it was like a raised like fake stage kind of thing, spotlight on you, DJ to the side, and then at the back of the room was a mirror.
Okay.
So you would watch yourself, and it was a notoriously like fucking brutal room.
I kind of I want to perform with them. I like that.
Yeah.
Well, it's gone now. It's gone now. But
See what you look
I'm
like.
also
probably too many people killing themselves.
yeah. I was next, man. So I get up there, and at the time I was like writing just like kind of like one-linery stuff, just because I was like I don't know what to talk about. I'm like 21, and I don't fucking have any. I have no like life experience whatsoever.
How old are you now?
23.
Oh, okay.
Not that I have that much more life experience, but at least I have some shit to talk about. But then I had just moved here from college, and it was like, I don't know what I'm doing. And I get up on stage, and I have this joke that's like, I don't watch football because I think the players are problematic. For instance, they've been wearing white pants after Labor Day for years. Stupid, just like easy one-liner. And the room was predominantly black.
Oh, no.
And so I get up on stage. I'm already nervous because somebody's told me that this is a brutal room. And I've watched comic after comic after comic bomb. I'm like 15th.
Then why did you care?
Because I'm like still new at it. It's like this is like 2 months in.
Okay.
And so I get up, and again, no friends. Like just recently kicked out of my friend group. Like life just sucks ass.
Yeah.
And I get up and I open with that joke. And I say the setup, and like an older black woman in the front just goes, "Oh, honey," and I was like, I got so nervous,
oh, honey,
that I pulled off the fucking gas, because like that joke works if you punch it, but it doesn't work if you pull off and get nervous. And I pulled off the gas and fumbled the punchline, and she looked up and just went, whew. And I fucking lost it. Like I on stage just started to shake and like fumbled every other joke for 3.5 minutes after that.
Hey, but at least you didn't get off like a little bitch like I've seen some people do.
Oh yeah, that happens at Burt's all the time. It's so funny.
Yeah.
I like
it's
feel bad
cute.
because we all know what it feels like, but goddamn, you're like.
I've seen a guy go. It was like, so in Texas, the mics are like shows because there's like 2 comedy clubs.
Right.
So some people will kind of just go hang out and watch the open mic comedy. This guy goes up there and he like starts and he's like, "I'm too high, I'm sorry," and he just like walks off, and I'm just like, ew.
Yeah.
Because I've probably only done an open mic high once. And
Yeah, you learn that lesson so fast.
Well, yeah, because my energy was so low, and
Yep.
I'm definitely like, if I'm gonna be doing a joke that's you're performing with low energy, it needs to be intentional. Mine was unintentional, and I was just kind of like, yeah, and then this, and then that, and then this, and I kind of like I never sit, and I think I like had my butt on the stool, and I was just I ate complete dog shit, but that's.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's.
The point was I didn't get off the stage. Like,
Yeah,
I was
you
like,
stay
I'm
up there
too-
and you get
I'm
through
too
it, but
high.
fuck, it sucks.
Yeah. Okay, so then you fumbled through, and then did you cry? You said you couldn't keep your head up.
So I get off stage, and I sit down, and I can feel people like looking at me, whether or not they were or not. But my brain is like,
Yeah.
my face
Self-hatred,
is bright
yeah.
red. I'm like, my brain is like screaming at me, and I had a beer, and I think I went to grab it, and my hand was like this. And I was like, I gotta go. I like can't do this. And I got up, and I just like huffed out of there. Like I'd been sitting for like 10 seconds, I think.
Yeah.
And I know that people know that I left because of that. I didn't go back, and then they closed the room, and they made it like the new room that it is now. And I was there for a long time after that. Like just would go every Tuesday. But fuck, that was. I don't miss that.
No.
I mean, when I bomb now, I'm just like, yeah, I bombed. I knew that was coming, whatever. But then it's like, I had done like similar thing. Nashville, like my last show in Nashville was like my going away show for like improv shit, and it sold out. and it was all my friends and shit, and it was like this really like huge electric moment. I felt like God, and then I moved here, and then I was bombing at Mike's, and I was like, oh fuck, I'm fucked. I moved here to like do comedy, and I fucking suck, and I thought I was good. You know, like that whole, oh man.
For me, when I first moved out here, I was really discouraged because most of the shows people asked me to do were bringer shows.
Yeah.
And which is why even the show that we're doing together, just to be transparent about shows, and this is my opinion and this is my part of the gossip. You can tell me if you guys agree or disagree, because I heard you last time talking about how you don't accept bringer shows because you're like, I can't really bring anybody.
No, it's not that I don't accept them. I tell promoters I can't wait till I know people in LA that will come. But like I just got out of a relationship too.
Yeah.
My whole bringing potential.
Your girlfriend broke up?
Yeah. So
Aw.
it's literally. I mean, it's fine. It was a healthy release. You know, it was good. But literally, like her friends are my only friends other than comics in this town. So I have zero bringing potential. So I tell promoters I would love to, I just can't. You know.
Yeah.
Okay, now let me ask you this though: if someone asks you to do a show, do you? And they say if they don't mention anything about it being a bringer, you still try your best
hell yeah.
get some people out, you know?
You know, do you know Rel Battle is? You know Rel?
No.
He's he and Brian Moses go back and forth on like the history of who created Roast Battle.
Okay.
But Rel Battle, he's a great comedian. He did a podcast in this room once, and he was saying every show's a bringer show.
Yes.
Krystle is a bringer. They put his name on the
Yes.
billboard, and he brings 500 fucking people.
Thank
What can
you.
you do?
Yes.
So every show's a bringer. You should always be concerned about the amount of people in the room that you're like. Even as a young comic, you're responsible for the contribution to the audience.
100%.
Yeah.
So I hope comics listen. If they listen to any podcast, I hope they listen to this one, because I told this girl, I've been booking people, and I don't mention, by the way, help, bring
Right,
people,
yeah.
you know? I would say, can you get people out before I put them on the lineup? But I don't say, you know, because I want people to have the opportunity as well. But like, can you bring people? Because it's just,
It's good to know. You don't. Like,
I forget people don't think. Okay, her response was, the point is her response was, I don't really have much of a following yet.
I don't like that.
I'm like, what?
You don't need you can
like,
get people to a show. Like
no,
if you,
I don't care if you bring your mom, your dad, and your cousin. Like
Yeah.
that's 3 heads in the room.
Yeah.
You know, you just have to be related to people.
I don't need your following. I need somebody who will buy chicken fingers. Do you have someone who likes chicken
Yes.
fingers?
Yeah,
Bring them.
bring 'em.
Exactly.
chicken fingers and like $10 of expendable income,
Yeah.
and you're good.
Yeah.
Like that's
Buy a ticket,
Right.
a beer, and some chicken, and yeah.
Right. Okay. And then that was the other thing. Is I was like, well, try, you know, because I was like, do you have anyone like, because I think a lot of us get spoiled doing these bar shows where they absolutely don't ask you one other time. They just, hey, do you want to do this gig? We all show up. There's 4 people in the audience, and we're just okay with it because to us, a lot of us are treating it like a mic, I guess.
it's
you
just
know,
time. I mean, it's
if-
time.
Right. But that, you know, and I get it because I've done shows. You weren't here for the last episode when
I wasn't.
we were talking about how I was doing a midnight show at this club in Huntington Beach. Not club. It's a
room.
it's a room. And I'm blanking. But anyways, I showed up, and it's funny too because I was gonna wear the hat today. I was the only person who brought anybody, one person.
And you feel like an asshole.
And
Yeah?
and it was a guy I met off Bumble.
Fuck yeah.
And that was the first time that we met.
Oh my
Oh
god.
my fucking god.
Yeah.
That's such a good idea.
I warned him too. I was like, hey, he goes, because I had a stand-up picture on my Bumble profile, and he was like, when's your next performance or whatever?
He's
And I was
already
like,
planning on buying you drinks anyway. That's your 2 item.
Yeah, there you go.
Boom.
There you go.
well, not only was
gotta
this
get
free, they don't have a bar, so it's a free show. And that's another thing I was surprised about. They're gonna kill me that I didn't freaking the Amazing Comedy Theater. God bless America.
Oh, I've heard of them.
Yes,
It's a cool spot. You might have been the one who told me about that.
Yes, the Amazing Comedy Theater in Huntington Beach. It's a cool, like the earlier shows are cool. There's always like at least some people who actually bring people, or like the bar show. But the 12 o'clock, it's Orange County, so it's a little bit harder. But it was great because the very first guy up didn't know who he was to me. He didn't even know me, and he's like, hey, man, he's like, do you mind if I just talk to you during the set? And he was intelligent enough to make it funny.
Yeah.
Where he was like, so what do you do? And I didn't know what the guy did, and it turned out that he was a psychologist.
Oh.
Right. And then he's like, my dad's a doctor. So he's obviously he played with the fact that my dad's a doctor and I'm a comic, whole deal. And but then anyways, obviously I get up there and I was like, yeah, I'm on the dating sites and I set my last date up for 10 minutes ago. Give it up for my date in the second row. I was like, I rented this place out for you. It was funny. I mean, it was a great experience. And he's like, I'll never forget this.
Yeah, no, I bet he won't. That's fucked up though, because I don't know. Are you on dating apps?
I mean, not.
I have no trace.
I got out of a relationship 2 days ago, but I met her on a dating app.
That was only 2 days.
Couple days.
Damn, dog.
Yeah.
You can't, if you're a dude, you really can't have any trace of you being a stand-up comedian in your shit.
You're right. You're not
100%.
wrong.
Huge red flag. Huge red flag.
Yeah.
For and then also if
for us, it's great.
I do, because I only like people who look past red flag. You're gonna have to look past a lot of red flags to date me.
Like the mustache.
Like, there's number one. They see the picture of me holding a mic. They're like, I think I could slum it for a while again.
That's bad. And then people who I've gotten matched with now several times only because they've seen me do stand up.
Oh.
And I stay out of that too because I don't want to deal with it.
Okay.
But
for me, I like it because guys love the broken women. But
that's what I was just
so
saying.
True.
I have a boyfriend now who met me because his friend was a fan of the Orange County comedy scene, and for some reason they have you heard of Anchor Bar?
No.
So
is it in Orange County?
You know Anchor.
Yeah.
Have you been?
Is it open again or?
It's chapter 1 now.
I haven't done any shows in Orange County ever. So
is it? I thought that was just a temporary thing until something else happened.
We're still waiting.
All right.
So now it's still chapter 1, but anyways, I guess they help me promote my mic a lot. Once a month, and you're more than welcome to come if you ever want to try the Long Beach mic that I do.
Is that K2?
Yes.
Yeah.
And apparently they went to one of our shows, Mike's. There's always an audience too, which is why it was legit. Last time there was.
I see the pictures. It's fucking, it looks dope.
Half of the crowd was an audience.
Dope.
And I was like, we have a show, ladies and gentlemen. And I'm not trying to brag, but I feel like they stick. I do my set at the end. Mm-hmm. Not like I'm trying to headline or anything. And then Kelly a lot of times won't do her time. So I'm like, well, I'm doing both of our time. Then if you're not going to perform, then guess what? And then I'm taking it all. And but he went, and then I guess the sociopath. Mm-hmm. I've told him some stories about him. He's like,
your boyfriend is a sociopath?
I call him a sociopath.
I
don't even remember why, but I know who he is.
No, because I told him a story. Well, basically, because that's it. Like,
are we allowed to say this on camera that that he's a sociopath?
Well, he's my man. I can say whatever I want about him.
Yeah, but he's not our man. If he's a sociopath, I don't want to be on his list.
Hey, listen, if you're out there, sociopath, I think you're a sociopath.
Oh, shit, Alex, don't.
No,
I'm not on camera right now. So.
Fuck, he doesn't know what you look. I'm dead. I'm dead.
So what happened but this is why he came to K Squared probably like a month or two later. And then, so he walks in, and I was like, hey, are you here to sign up? And he was like, oh, no, I'm just here to check it out. And then I thought that a comedian, because a lot of people go up for the first time at K Squared. And I love that so much. I usually make it a big deal. I take their picture,
You're a comedy mom. That's what you're a fucking comedy mom.
And then, but... So at the end, he leaves. I was like, all right, cool. Well, I was like, so you're not a comic? No. And then he kind of like starts sliding through my DMs.
Hell yeah.
And I will say that he called him sociopath because I was like, yeah, he just started sliding through my DMs. And then all of a sudden, I was like, he sent me Chelsea Handler tickets.
He what?
Yeah, he sent me Chelsea Handler tickets.
Dude, fuck rich dudes.
He keeps
fuck rich dudes.
I don't even think he's a no.
Hey, rich dudes.
Hold on.
Fuck you.
No.
I've had it with that shit.
It's not rich
I'm pissed
dudes.
off.
It's worse. It's
dumb
middle
dudes?
class dudes wasting their money.
fuck middle class dudes also. I'm sick of this bullshit. If to get a girl in this goddamn town, you gotta send them tickets, premium tickets to fucking Chelsea. Fuck that.
And they were not premium.
Chelsea Handler is like a premium comic.
Wait, you're hooking up with a dude that bought you Nosebleed?
You got GA? You on that GA shit? Fuck
See?
that guy.
I'm humble. No. The panty dropper was like 2 weeks later when I opened up my email and I had Colin Quinn tickets.
Do you like Colin Quinn?
Yes.
You like
Well,
oh,
that's why
you
he
are
got
his
him.
crowd. Oh.
That's why he got him.
You wanna? So we're talking comedy. He's not gonna hear this. Colin Quinn's a great. I've met him so many
I'm gonna
times.
send it to him and
Just
be
because.
like, hey.
Yeah. Do you know him?
No.
You should open for him. That'd be perfect.
I love when people say shit like that.
Ah.
I love when people say shit like that.
Do you know him?
Because hey, it's your choice. You open for him. Why haven't you thought of that?
No. I mean,
It's
like,
shit like that and shit like, Kellen, why don't you go on tour? What do you mean, why don't I go on tour? Nobody wants to fucking see me.
Hold on a minute, Kellen.
I'm
If you
getting
look like,
pissed off.
hold on.
Fuck you, middle
hold
class.
Hold on, Kellen. If you look like her, you do kind of get to choose who you go on the
Okay,
road
fair.
with. So hold on
And
shut the. If you, there are.
Yeah, but here's the thing: is that like I'm getting
You
mad.
have beautiful girls on your Instagram all day, so don't even give me that.
Yeah,
no,
but
so-
that doesn't make me go on tour.
So-
That
I
just-
guarantee you at our show on the 11th, there's going to be like 8 bad bitches all there to see him. And he probably had sex with 3 of them.
Colin Kane, if you don't know him, he boom, and now we got to dry clean again. I'm kidding. We needed
so
it anyway.
sorry.
Crystle's boyfriend, you got
I'm
money? Get this shit dry cleaned.
He's almost Stanhopian, and that a lot of comics don't even know who he is, but he has built his own crowd that follow him. They're plugged into him. He has like his merch is like tank tops and thongs that say like dirty girl and shit, and he'll sell them out.
Hold the fucking
His
phone.
whole crowd is 50-year-old women on Xanax
wear
and red
thongs.
and Xanax and red wine. They're hot.
Who
They'll
I'm on my way
heckle.
to.
They'll heckle the whole time. But his crowd is just unruly, like hot older chicks. And
How? What is
How-
his content? What's it?
he looks way better. He looks like Jesselnick jacked. That's
Jesus
how. And he's
Christ.
pretty funny, and he makes a lot of self-deprecating humor. So
I'm gonna look him up
And
right now.
and I always say that at my mics. I'm always like, I just want to let you know I'm the one host that will heckle you.
Oh, you
So
will?
I like practice. I mean, it's like fun heckle. And people have told me that my laugh is a heckle.
Oh,
so-
I heckle the audience when I'm on stage. Like this guy at my show
heckle the
last
audience when I'm on
Tuesday.
stage, okay.
This guy was sitting in the front row and he just like fidgeted, and I was midway through my joke. I went, sit down, and then just went back into my joke. And he like looked up at me all weird, and then I finished the punchline, and this guy was wearing a neon blue suit. And he was the only one who like laughed really loud, and I went, great, one joke from the guy who dressed up to fuck me. And just like shit like that, where it's like, you guys didn't. Oh, I can see. I can see why he gets the. He looks
Oh,
like
no,
he looks
and
like a
he's-
sitcom dad.
He had a Vegas residency. Like he is
Sure.
he's a comics comic. He's a road comic. Like he's been out on the grind for years. He's great, but
I know who this guy. Yeah.
He's just no, like I never put it's funny when I hear comics who know who he is, because he doesn't deal with a lot of the club drama. You know, he
Yeah.
does his own thing. He produces his own shows. So
And thank you for the compliment. I will say, Alex and I got to see each other do stand up for the first time last week.
How was
You
it?
wanna talk about
Did
the
Alex
worst-
get mad at the crowd?
No, you handle that shit like a boss, though. That's all
so
I'm gonna say.
it
I was
was-
wasted.
It was Chow. I had a 10-minute spot at Chow,
Yeah.
and it was like the very end of the night. We'd barked these 2 people in, and I have a joke where I say like, it's talking about families, and I set it up to where it's like, maybe your family's too Trumpy, maybe they're not Trumpy enough. I talk about social media and how family irritates people, and I literally am trying to play both sides of the aisle. Like, maybe your family's too Trumpy, maybe they're not Trumpy enough, and like a minute later, this lady's like, "You're not funny," and she just starts being a bitch.
Great.
And I was like, "What's going on over here?" And she goes, "I love Trump." And I'm like, "I didn't even say anything bad about him." Like,
That's where their headspace is
I
at,
know.
though.
Well, so it just like what it became for me was every joke I had, like, because a lot of my jokes are bits and jokes inside of them. So it's
Yeah.
like it'll be, you know, I'll be talking about something, but I have jokes that fall into it. I wasn't even doing bits. I was just doing like the jokes anywhere I could point. Like I have a mass shooting joke, and I just so I could talk about her AR-15.
Yeah.
Like every joke I could do to make the crowd look at her and go, I did. And by the end, she's like, I'm leaving. And I'm like, fucking,
Yes.
thank you.
I did that.
Yes,
I did that. I'm hosting at Bert's now, and I did that to a guy while I was hosting.
Oh,
because-
you're very cool.
Yeah, I mean, hey man, hey, it's not a big deal.
I got
but
Bert's hosting his
but
house.
I'm hosting at Bert's back room. I do a lot of the Laugh Lounge. Sign up.
Bert's Army, what's up?
Bert's Army. I was hosting. It was my first time.
I want to host too, Rachel.
Well, and here's the thing: you just gotta kind of be cool. But oh, sorry. I was hosting, and this guy gets up and he does 4 minutes of just homophobic material. And like, it's one thing if you write a setup and a punchline and it's funny. It's another thing if you're just being homophobic and just saying generalizations, and that's what he was doing. So every time I went up, I would just give him shit for it. And we had 3 gay comics on the show, and they all went up right after him.
Oh, no.
And so as soon as the first
Which ones? First names only. Which gay comics?
I don't remember. They were all very funny.
Was Jared one of them?
No, it wasn't.
All right.
But Jared is so good at roasting people that I wish it had been because he is fucking hilarious. But the first guy goes up and like lays into him like funny, and but he gets done and I go, it looks like you just got done living your worst nightmare. And he's like, what do you mean? And I was like, you just got followed by a gay comic. And the whole room was like, oh, we're just gonna make fun of him too. So then every comic after that made fun of him for it, and it was so fun. But then he walked out and he like apologized to like the other comics and was like, I was just like going, and they were like, no, we're not like mad and shit. I've never seen it go that well with somebody because like usually that guy's gonna lock down and like leave, you know?
Yeah.
Or like, I mean, if he's white, he's gonna bring a gun next time. But you know,
not in this state. You can't get him. But at a Nevada open mic, yeah, he is.
Or Texas, everybody's got guns. Did you ever perform with a gun?
No, I did think about getting one in Vegas though. The last time I was
All
there,
of
I
our-
worked across the street from a gun shop, and you know, you keep walking into a
Where'd you
barber
work?
shop. You're gonna get a haircut at a State Farm office, actually.
Oh yeah,
In
that's
Vegas?
you're gonna need a gun at
Henderson.
a State Farm in which State Farm?
Henderson.
Henderson. Were you over off of Stephanie? Was it?
You know, I don't even remember.
Hey man, why do you
Going
know Stephanie at State Farm?
No, Stephanie's the street. No,
He's from Vegas.
I'm a yeah. So you want to talk about guns at open mics? Like all the original open mic spots in Vegas that were there when I started, like a bunch of them are in this area that's being contested by multiple motorcycle gangs. So like when you're on stage, you literally like you run the risk of getting knifed when you get like you got if he's wearing leather, just let him heckle you. Just don't you better be damn good and very lighthearted to these people or it's
you're damn dead.
toast. Yeah.
I did so that downtown show I did where I like lost the audience. There was a guy there with full skull tats, like shaved head, full skull tats, and like I don't care what you got him for. I'm not gonna make fun of you, because you're 6'4" and huge, and
he probably sat up front because he wanted to be made fun of.
Oh man, you could tell he was just like side eyeing everybody. I was like, oh fuck me, man. This is I cannot die. The only way I want to die is with beef with a rapper. I don't want to die.
You know, and good for you because they usually say that anyways. Like we gave one of my buddies in Orange County shit because he had been doing stand up for 2 months at this point.
He took on
and he tried to like do crowd work. It's like, bro, do your material, bro.
Here's more comedy gossip. I was at Bert's. I was talking to a comic. It was his second time doing stand up, and he was like, "I got one joke, and I really hope I can get through it, and then I'm just gonna do crowd work." And I was like, "Oh fuck."
Hey, you know what?
I don't like. Listen, more power to you. Like
respect,
whatever.
Because
like,
A, he had to pay. Fuck it. 2, he had a joke. 3, I've seen too many times a guy get up and just go, "Hi, what do you guys want me to talk about?" without having even a single joke.
That's fair.
You know, and
I will say his joke midway through his one joke, he looked at a black guy in the front row and said like, "What do you think about that, Mac?" And the guy's name was not Mac, and I was like, "Oh no,
Mac Daddy." No, maybe he's just an old soul. He's like calling him Pimp. What's up, Pimp? What's up, Mac?
Yeah, but even that felt that's bold. You gotta. I lost the room with a joke that was a joke at least, and.
Do you think it feels weirder for us in LA, or do you think that's like?
I get uncomfortable with that shit. I think anywhere. And it's not even like the like liberal snowflake part of me. It's just like sitting in the room, you can feel the guy's reaction, just like fuck.
But of all, like it's like call him what you would have called a white guy, like bro or dude. Like, why did he all of a sudden have to be Mac? Yeah.
Also, that's such a specific form of like like racist. Like it's not like fully racist, but it is like
a stereotype.
But
Mac.
also, like like I don't know the guy, but I call people player. I say in my daily life, I say player, I say cholo. You know what I say? Like I say essay a lot. Like I say them almost jokingly because I am comically white as shit. But like if I'm on stage and I call someone player or essay or whatever, I'm not doing it because so. Like I have to. Maybe that's just what he calls people, but
I don't know, man. I'm trying to think. Oh, I followed an incel one time. You guys know what incels are?
Isn't that
involuntarily celibate?
Yeah.
So this dude, it was back when. Did you guys ever do the Bear Burger mic in Santa Monica?
Justin's room. Justin Wood, Bear Burger.
Yeah, Ash took it over. Do you know Ash Casanova?
Oh, I'm thinking of the show, not the mic. But yeah, I know what you're talking about. Yeah.
So it was partial booked, partial fucking mic, and if you got booked, you did 15 minutes. Which is a crazy amount of time, like early on in your career, and this was like a year in.
That's a crazy amount of time.
Now. Yeah. And I had maybe 10 minutes, but this guy goes up and he starts out and he's like got a little bit of material. It's going okay, and then like you watch a switch flip in his head, and he goes, "Fuck this town." And I was like, "Oh hell yeah, I'm excited about whatever comes after this."
No.
He goes, "I've got more morals than anybody in this goddamn town, and I can't get laid." And I was like, "Oh, this is fucking amazing."
That's yeah.
And I was like, this is like
Gold.
textbook incel. Like that's on all the chats and shit and forums and all that. And he goes, and it's fucking bullshit because I got a huge dick. And I was like, oh my God, this is incredible. And he literally the last like 3 minutes of his set was just screaming, I have a huge penis. Gets off stage, walks around like in front of everyone, goes up to these two girls that are like sitting right by the stage and hands them his business card, pats them both on the shoulder, and walks out after saying all that about not getting laid.
Wow.
It was incredible. I love this town for that kind of shit.
Yeah. Oh my goodness. Wow.
What's your worst heckler situation, Krystle?
Oh, I've actually talked about this on stage before, and I never address stuff like this. I try my hardest to only respond to hecklers if it's loud enough that I know like more than half of the room could hear it.
Yeah.
One time I did a joke, and it was, I don't understand why right-wing people are pro-life, because in what other situation do the babies go straight to heaven? Boom.
Oh, it's so good.
Okay, so if you don't know what right-winged is, obviously it's kind of a thinker, and then obviously if you use your context clues, you can kind of put it together. And so it is kind of you gotta give it a second, and then you'll get those laughs. And this girl goes, I don't get it. I heard her say it, but I knew the rest of the room did. Okay, that's one example. I skipped it. But it got me in my head because I'm like, am I going to say something? Am I going to say something? I'm sure my eyes were like thinking, keep going. And I kept going. And plus, I'm kind of afraid of certain rooms too, because
really?
I remember the reason why that room was actually on my side is I got up and the first thing I said is I was like, you guys look mean.
It's funny that you think that, because when I saw you do stand-up at Birds, I was scared of you.
Oh.
Yeah.
Thanks.
You have a very like powerful stage presence.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, I feel safe at Bert's though.
Yeah.
You know, because that to me, I feel fine getting off bombing at Bert's.
Yeah, 100%.
And it's especially at 4 and 5 o'clock. I feel like at 9 and 10, it's like such a fun vibe.
9 and 10 is
like
dope.
Giggly, whatever. But I go there too, just kind of like word my jokes out. But bar show, I said a brand new joke that was about Christians, and I guess I said, must be a lot of Jews in the room or something. I know. But then this Latina lady goes, what? and I know she wasn't Jewish, and I said it again, and then that's when I lost my shit. So I was like, because it was an actual statement. I was all bump, 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 bump. And then I was like, why don't you shut the fuck up and go put your name on the fucking list and sign up?
Oh, shit.
And I was like, make some noise if you want her to Uber the fuck out of here. And then everyone like erupted and then I got off the stage and I walked right into her direction. And of course she didn't say anything. So as soon as I realized she wasn't going to say anything to me.
Even you acting this out is fucking terrifying.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah,
good.
horrifying.
You know, I'm really. It's all a show. I'm very kind and nice.
No,
I'm
I know. Yeah,
afraid
you.
of people.
I
You
get
get
that.
that
But
now?
in that moment, I was like, no, I'm not fucking with
Okay.
Krystle.
Thanks. Oh yeah. Well, if I get angry, it is a little bit frightening.
Yeah.
But can we do this? Can we
It's weed time.
We're gonna take a little break to from the comedy gossip to talk about weed. One time, what made me say something to you about? You said something. You posted something about being high, and
What did I do? It was either.
I don't know if you were talking about weed and then I sent you a picture of these nugs.
Yeah, you did.
You can take one of these, by the way.
Oh, thank you.
I mean, you don't have to eat it
I'm
now.
not gonna
because
eat
you're
it
going
now
back to
because I
work,
gotta
but
go back to work.
They're sativa.
Okay.
They're really delicious, and they're a true sativa. So basically, for our listeners who don't know the difference, obviously sativa is more of a daytime high, indica is a nighttime high, and then hybrid is right in
A
between.
fucking gamble. It's a goddamn
It is
gamble.
because a lot of them are either sativa dominant or indica dominant. Now, and most edibles, because they're body highs, are. Sorry, I'm getting a call, so I was like, it distracted me.
You want me to answer it? I'll take it.
Because they're body highs, they're all indica. They're not labeled. So that's the thing. If an edible isn't labeled, then you know, it's a gamble, but this is a true sativa.
So it's 250 milligrams of THC total in the whole thing?
Correct.
Got it.
Right. But it's a
scares me.
true 250.
Yeah.
So there's this guy who does edible reviews, and he eats the whole thing. Right quick, what is the address here? Alex? Oh, I got it. I really stand by. Sorry, it's.
I'll take over,
Jackie.
you guys.
Yeah, go ahead and talk for just a second.
I I don't do edibles often because when I do, I lay on the floor and scream. It's like my weird high tick. I don't know. But I love to just lay on the floor and yell shit. And my friends had to last year during the summer I smoked way more than I do now. And I would just smoke whenever it was around. And my friend works for a distributor. And so the weed he had was all top shelf. And I came from smoking brown Nashville weed. Old shit that had been
yeah,
shipped.
I'm from Texas.
Yeah, you get it. Yeah.
$5 for a
Yeah,
whole bag.
exactly.
Yeah,
Everything's mid. It's just fucking trash. And so when I came here, I had been doing 6 bong rips, whatever, for Nashville shit. And then I came here and I would take one hit of a joint and I would pass out for 4 hours.
Oh, for sure.
And I would just lose my mind. And so my friends were you can only smoke after we get home from bars.
So,
you're
so
not.
are you still a lightweight?
Oh yeah, 100%.
Oh, great.
Yeah.
Okay.
Which is why I'm not gonna even eat a bite of this right now because
no, you would literally. I'll give you a whole nug to take home, and you could just take a nibble of it.
I'm gonna eat the whole thing tonight. I'm gonna send you videos because it's gonna be fucking terrifying.
But you're not gonna be able to sleep.
Oh, because it's sativa.
It's sativa. No, and it's a true sativa.
So I really won't be able to sleep.
So you would probably want to do it on a day off and take it around 3 in the afternoon, where you can go to the beach and enjoy it, you know, rather than ruin your whole next day because you can't fall asleep.
Oh my God.
So
you were looking for address?
I got it.
She got it.
I got it.
God damn it, Alex.
So we're just gonna play one little game and see if he could tell the difference. Well, so you said top shelf, top shelf was top shelf. So this strain is Sunset Gelato, and it's a purple nug. I know you guys. I wish I could zoom
Punch in, yeah.
Go ahead and play with that one for a bit. Why don't you?
Oh, it's so pretty.
Right? It's purple weed,
God
which
damn.
is super Cali. It's Cali standard, basically, which is really hard to get with the new laws now, because unfortunately, with it being legal, a lot of it has to go through so much testing, and it's dry, and it's in these containers that look like this. You buy weed in containers that look like this, and this is chocolate, by the way. If it's not clear, it is a chocolate strawberry, it almost has a crunch bar consistency.
Yeah, those are so good.
It's delicious.
It's so good.
Budman edible nug. Shout out to Budman. Hopefully one day we can get
sponsored. That'd be so dope.
Well, I know I work for them.
Oh shit! I forgot. Yeah.
I sell weed over the phone.
You tell me once a day.
I'm a weed operator. Yeah, just like you say, you're my best friend.
I say that all the time. You guys are my best friends.
Thank you. And then this is Captain Jack.
Ooh, named
that's
after
a
me.
fat nut.
Yeah, it's fat as fuck.
Yeah.
One time we smoked shit that had like it was like some of that shit that they grow in like the moonlight and only in water and shit. You know, like just like some grower out in like fucking fucking Humboldt.
Okay.
And my friend
Humboldt legend.
Jesus Christ, this is so good.
You can have that.
Stop it. You don't have to give me all your weed. I have so much weed at home.
Oh, you told me that.
My friend sent me $500 worth of weed. Did I tell you that?
No.
Yeah.
Why?
He like is opening up a line.
Fuck these rich friends.
Yeah, fuck rich. Hey,
fuck rich people.
Rich guys, fuck you.
$500. Hey, babe, where's my $500 worth of weed?
At first, I was like,
Bros
it's so cool. It's so cool. People like he sent me this much weed, and then now I have so much. Like it's so much weed.
Yeah, now it's almost like you kind of want to.
It's a curse. I'm like, please, somebody.
Yeah.
Well, I can't smoke all that because I'm a lightweight. So like, I literally can only take like 3 or 4 hits of a joint total in a night before I go to bed.
Okay.
Or I'm cashed.
Cool. Are you the same way with alcohol?
No, I don't really drink a whole lot anymore.
Good. Okay.
Because alcohol makes me so sad that I was like, I don't need a thing to make me so sad all the time. So like,
ex-comics were just sad people.
100%.
Yeah.
This is I smoke weed like medicinally for like so I can sleep because I cannot sleep because my anxiety is so bad.
Okay. I become a lot nicer when I smoke.
Like you donate to charity and shit.
No, just I'm a lot more giggly and I realize when I smoke indicas, I actually become a lot more giggly. And I thought it was sativa the whole time.
No, it's that loopy shit. It's the loopy, like your brain relaxes and like
I'm so mad about it. I learned that the hard way. One of my girls, shout out to Emily Rossi, she did like a 30-minute, hour-long, whatever, some really long special for her birthday. She did it at Carmen Bar. And I was all, I want to get really high and like laugh. I smoked the strongest freaking sativa ever, and I was just at the bar the whole time, just super paranoid out, and I lost my appetite because sativa usually kills my appetite too.
It locks my shit down.
Yeah, and then I got super faded off an indica the other night, and I could not stop. I was just it's so funny, yeah, so nice, everything's so nice.
It's very funny too that I smoke a lot. I don't smoke. I smoke regularly. I don't smoke a lot, but I smoke regularly. You know, like I feel like there's a difference. There's like
100%.
But I smoke consistently, and I come from a very like socially conservative family. Like they're very good with like social justice stuff. But like when my mom like even hears me kind of like reference weed, she like locks up, and so it's very funny.
My mom doesn't even know where I work. She thinks pharmaceuticals. Which is in
the tell her pharmaceuticals?
Yeah, it's not a lie.
It's not. No,
it's not a lie. But but my mom, she doesn't really.
It's like
ask too many
there's
questions.
like there's so much like this is so corny and fucking stonery, but like there is a lot of stigma around it still, and it's like
no, that's 100% true.
And it's just like crazy because like I know that they don't love that I have $500 worth of weed in my house. You know, I didn't tell them that because they'd be overwhelmed. But
right.
Okay,
so do you think that one's stronger than that one, or that one's stronger than that one?
God, you can't really tell by smell.
No, and I will say it's really interesting because like I have customers who call and they'll be like, "I want big nugs," and I'm like, "Do you now?" And it's so weird. But I will say, for example,
I think I'm gonna say the non-purple strain is stronger.
Is stronger? Okay. So if you look at this actually looks like there might be a little bit more weed in this one, but this one actually I think has more because it's the density. It's super dense weed. Like feel how hard that is.
Sorry.
See how hard? It's like a rock. And then this one's a lot more fluffy.
Oh yeah.
So and that's why I think it's funny when these people want big nugs. And you're actually wrong. The purple weed is stronger.
Fuck. Fuck.
The bigger nug is actually a top shelf strain, and the purple weed is a premium strain.
Ah, damn it.
Yeah.
This is your fault. Fucking rich people. It's on you, man.
People. Yeah. So the purple strain is Sunset Gelato. Do you want to guess if it's a hybrid or an indica?
I'm gonna guess it's an indica. It's a straight indica, yeah.
It is a straight indica, yeah. And I don't usually buy straight indicas until I realize that that's what I should have been smoking the whole time.
Because it makes you happy and giggly and nice.
Mm-hmm. And then that Captain Jack is actually. Do you want to
take
a guess?
Go over that. That's what you should have been smoking the whole time.
I should have. Because
So sativa's the like day one, you know?
Yeah, no, I'm fully familiar with what
So-
sativa. Why
so weed,
do
you- when you
why do
smoke-
you have a change of heart? I mean,
because I thought that indica. So first of all, we have the strongest strain that we have at my job is called the She Devil, and I remember, okay, I want to try the strongest strain that we have, and I was really high, but I didn't enjoy the high.
Yeah.
It was almost kind of foggy. I kept losing my train of thought, and I don't like that kind of a stoned. I like, which is why I was like, oh, maybe I should have tried an indica dominant hybrid. But I tried this sunset gelato, and let me tell you, I was on the flip side. I was actually working out. I wanted to walk my dogs.
No shit.
Yeah, which is, and for some, it is. I always tell customers that it's kind of unfortunately a case by case scenario. Like you might, and with all the laws going on, like for example, the reason why I was so obsessed with sativa was I had a Jamaican's, it's so hard to say, Jamaican lamb's bread. There you go, Jamaican lamb's bread, Bob Marley's favorite strain. And I believe I got a true Jamaican lamb's bread because I smoked it and I rearranged my whole house, my whole apartment. Yeah, I was like, the feng shui in here is off. I was with my friend Matt. I was all, help, we need to move this couch right there. Huh? And I was like, isn't it so much better? This is amazing.
You turned full anime character.
It was crazy, yeah. And my apartment looked beautiful from like then on out. And I was like, see, if I would have never smoked that Jamaican lamb's bread. But
Bob Marley stopped wars and you just rearranged your house.
I might have wrote a couple of jokes. You know?
Yeah. I was smoking last night. Last night I had a night off, so I wrote sober and then I smoked and then I ate dinner and then I was like live on Instagram for like 30 minutes just doing dumb shit.
I didn't get to click it.
And I was like cooked. And then
Okay.
I went and watched Parks and Rec because when you're high, it's so fun. Like shows like that are so fun to watch high.
Okay.
So I was watching it and this girl DM'd me and I was like so excited because I'm like very into her. She DM'd me and she sent she carried on a conversation we've been having a couple days prior, and I remember typing out the message and having a train of thought, and then watching an entire episode of Parks and Rec, and then looking down at my phone and having like 3 words, and being like, "Oh God damn it!" So it looked like I'd been typing that whole time, and if you like check in on Instagram, she would have just seen that I was typing for 22 minutes. And then I start typing. I'm like, I gotta finish this. And then
And you were smoking out of that $500
yeah
stash. What is it?
it's all indicas. It's all
Okay.
sleep time indicas. Like every
Okay.
single one says like sleep indica. It's
Okay.
so funny. Some of it's Lowell, if you know
Yeah,
Lowell
Lowell.
Farm. Yeah.
Mhm.
And
That's really expensive.
yeah.
good
Well,
weed.
It's like stuff I would never buy on my own because it's like $80 for like one.
Yeah,
package.
all
It's
the
fucking
like
crazy town.
influencers get these sick ass packages, and I'm like,
Yeah, hey,
fuck
fuck
y'all.
Yeah, fuck those.
fuck those rich ass influencers
Yeah.
getting into college scams.
well, I mean, you have a big following.
Yeah, fuck those influencers who smoke Lowell. Those
Yeah,
guys
exactly.
are fucking gross.
This
That
guy.
People that get their weed for free.
This
That's
guy.
uh,
Fuck good-looking guys who complain about guys who get bitches. I'm like, babe.
I don't need no bitches. I got weed. You can
Okay.
quote me on that.
Actually, okay, and then so finish your.
So then I started finishing the message and got distracted again.
Oh no.
So by this point, I
Oh,
watched 2 full
no.
episodes of Parks and Rec and have not typed 3 sentences.
Okay.
Finally sent
Why
it
didn't you hit fucking pause?
because I was so high.
Okay.
And so I was
Wow, I
like,
don't want to be that high.
all right.
I cheat. I don't inhale all the way.
I do. Oh,
Like a little bitch.
Why?
Because I don't want to get that high.
Oh, I see. At night, like if I'm home for the night, because I won't smoke like
Yeah.
before if I'm going somewhere, I won't smoke. Like blah blah blah.
Mm-hmm.
I don't drive and smoke because I did one time,
Oh,
and I was
no.
driving home on the 101, and it was right when they started putting up the neon signs that were like, get high and drive, or drive high, get a DUI.
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, I didn't know, like I didn't even think about it, and I was like. And I got so scared on the drive home because I still had 20 minutes left on the drive. I was like, "Oh my god, I didn't even mean to do that." Like,
Especially going through DUI checkpoint, bro. You
Oh,
gotta
I
be
haven't. I didn't have to
careful.
do that, thank God. But
Yeah.
I would never do it again. I was like, I would rather Uber fucking 40 minutes and like pay for it
Yeah.
than ever do that again. Because the panic attack was so bad. So not only was I stoned, but I was also having a panic attack, and I still had 20 minutes to drive home. Oh my God, fuck that.
I went through a DUI checkpoint leaving Clown House one night, actually, like out near the Staples Center, and I was very high. And I was pulling up, and I was like, oh man, because I live in my car. I'm always like worried, like Like, man, if they tow my shit, like, it's gonna be like.
No.
So I wasn't even thinking about being high. I was more just like, oh, I gotta deal with cops. I don't even want to deal with cops right now. I just sit here. And then after I got through it, I was like, oh yeah, you're ridiculously stoned too right now. But I just like, if I would have remembered I was stoned, I'm sure I would have just been sweating bullets by the time I rolled the window down.
You were so high, you forgot you were high.
I was so high. I was just like, I was more where I was like, hey, cop. Like, I probably seemed nervous just because everyone who's like cops are
when I know
deal
I'm sober, I'm that fucking white privilege, half
like,
white privilege. Like,
why am I being stopped?
Every percentage of white privilege that I'm allowed to have when I'm
the 3%
sober.
you get for Czechoslovakia.
It's only 3? Why is it only 3%? Why not 50?
Oh, okay, it's 50.
My dad's white.
I don't know. Do Czechs have privilege? Is that what's going on in Czechoslovakia?
We're definitely just hookers, but you know.
You heard it out. She said it.
I mean, some of the most beautiful hookers in Los Angeles are Czechs, you know, and I think they are.
Why do you know the roster?
Supermodel Haven.
Because you could just look at him and be like,
where?
She's on Instagram.
You can look at hookers on Instagram.
I made it up.
Oh, okay.
In this world.
Absolutely.
They're Czech hookers.
Look, I'm going to tell you this. Girls who are posting pictures from different lavish places all the time
with
don't have a job.
No job.
Those are Instagram hookers is what those are. I'm like being from Vegas, all
or
the
that
girls
have $100,000 worth of plastic surgery and Botox and like
This is crazy, but
they don't have money for dinner until someone Venmos them.
Right.
I've tweeted out Venmo me before, 100%. Yeah. No, I tweeted a picture of me with my shower curtain in the background, and it was like moldy, and a bunch of people called me for it on Twitter. I said, "Fine, fucking Venmo me for a new shower."
How much money did you get?
I got $200 just off of that, and it's not fraud. I've been told. I don't know if this is true or not, but it's not fraud if you actually use some of that money to buy the shower curtain.
Why would it be
fraud?
It wouldn't be fraud
anyway.
It's
donation.
Yeah.
Because if you say Venmo me for a specific thing and then you don't use the money for that thing, it is technically like fraud. And so if you say Venmo me for a drink and you don't buy a drink, you can get audited for that.
Your episode, this one and the last episode was paid because I posted that that meme that said. And I'm starting my Patreon today, finally.
Hell yeah.
It said, my rising sign is Venmo, my star sign is Cash App, blah, 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 is PayPal.
Yeah.
And shout out to Tank, said, what's your PayPal? And jokingly, I screenshot my thing and I sent it, and he sent me $100.
Who did?
His podcast is the Tank Rodriguez Show in San Antonio, and
he sent you $100.
He sent me $100 from
dude. Fuck rich guys.
Dude. You got money too.
Fuck rich guys.
Fuck both of you guys.
Fucking fuck rich people who send $100 to people that are not me.
Fuck people who get $500 weed stashes.
Okay.
When I'm not getting.
Sure.
What's
Do you want some?
No.
I'll bring
you
some.
Bitches
Indica will kill me. Thank you though.
His Instagram are beautiful. He's not struggling in any bitch department.
They're not. First off, none of them are bitches.
Hoes.
They're my friends. Second,
I'm a bitch. Gang.
Oh my god.
Sorry.
Second, what are you? Who? Like, are you talking about people that like
Everybody,
comment on my
I'm just
shit?
saying, yeah, or like there's all kinds of pretty girls that you hang out with. You and your little posse.
You're making me cool. You guys are making me
guys.
sound cooler than I actually am.
Good.
This podcast has been fun.
I feel like people make me a lot cooler than I actually am too.
I feel like I do my best to kind of walk around and when people are like, she's so cool, I'm just like, she's all right.
About Krystle?
Alex loves me.
Whenever people are blowing her up, I'm like, hold on, she's decent.
Oh my god, and that's makes me so sad because we're kind of running out of time, and I wanted that to be one of our topics, but this always happens on my podcast because gossip is
What is it? Let's do it fast.
I wanted to talk about how the one thing that you and I have in common that him and I both do is we both address our trolls.
Oh yeah, bad.
Yes,
I did it today. I replied to one of them.
I do that too.
I have this like mentor right now for digital stuff, and he was like, you got to stop replying to the haters. And I was like, I can't because like I got bullied as a kid as a fucking everybody, whatever. But I got bullied and I was also sensitive. So I had to learn how to like come back because I can't fight. Look at me. No way. And so
you're tall though.
I am tall, but I can't fight. I can't.
Join CrossFit.
Of course. And
expensive.
I had to learn to come back to people. And so it's a rush for me. Like it's fun. And people are like, you got to stop replying. You got to stop. And I'm like, I can't because I want to make that dumbass look like the dumbass that they are. And I do it all the time.
Okay. Good.
I love it.
I'm glad you do. So luckily for me, most of my trolls, they you can't see their face and they're on private. I'm not popular enough yet to where I've got followers that are just ballsy enough to show their face and not be on private and just talk shit. Every single troll so far has been hiding, and that's why I love picking them to pieces.
Oh, that's fun as
little
fuck.
Bitch, by the cat avatar, say something to my face.
I wrecked a guy that had a cat avatar because he came on and because I do those naked bits where I'm like I do all that and I think it's fucking hilarious and I love that because it's like.
Did you see that I posted that today on my Instagram?
Did you really?
Yeah.
You posted the skateboarding one?
Yeah.
Fuck yeah. And so I was like, it was the second one I did, which was, first one was the doorway one. The second one was my own head over my dick and balls.
Oh, yeah. That one was a good one.
I like that one. And I love that shit, but it pisses off my parents. And this guy replied and was like, listen, man, some friendly advice. Stick to what you're good at, memes. And like, don't post these pictures of yourself. Nobody's here for that. And I said, with all due respect, man, like, it's my page, not yours, and I do this for free, so shut the fuck up. I'm not going to, with loving regards, I'm not taking advice from a fucking cat AVI. And then he replied again, and he was like, I just don't want to see none of that gay shit. And I was like, oh, he's a homophobe? I'm in.
No.
I'm fucking wrecking your ass. Yeah. Because if you come at me and, like, say some shit about how I look, whatever, I'll, like, roast you back a little bit. But if you come at me and you're being a fucking bigot, oh, you're done. You're done. That's it. Goodbye. Goodbye.
For me, the last one, the cat avatar guy just said, I wish, or why are people pretending that she's funny? And first of all, he commented that on a little snippet of a podcast that I was doing that was about somebody that I had a crush on. I was like, there nowhere in that whole video was I trying to be funny.
You're just telling a story.
It like hurt if anything, I was like maybe laughing at myself because the point was that the guy didn't follow me on Instagram.
Yeah.
I'm like, I have a crush on, and then it's like I wasn't trying to be funny. It was just facts. You know, it's funny that maybe I'm sad, but and I remember that's why it was a big deal to me. I've talked about this on the podcast before that for some reason I went back and I saw that his comment was still there, and he actually, this is when it really hurt my feelings, he wasn't on private anymore, and he's actually an artist. Like, he was like a musician.
Dude, that's the craziest shit is when it's a normal ass person with a normal ass job.
Like, fuck
you expect Mountain Dew, bro, parents' basement. That's what you expect every troll to be.
Right.
And then I had a guy who was like, I was doing a grid system for a while where I was doing a tweet of mine, a picture of my face, tweet of mine, a picture, like that kind of shit, alternating. And it looked cool, and it was a way for me to get my face out there more, so I wasn't just like a fucking meme page.
Right.
And a guy commented and was like, dude, fuck this grid system, is what he said. That's it.
Okay.
And I went to his page, and he was a worship leader at a church with a child.
No.
And I said,
and he said, fuck?
And he said, fuck this grid system. And I just replied back, and I was like, dude, you're a grown-ass man with a big child. Like, you have to do something else with your time.
Wait, did you post that online?
Yeah, I put it on my story, yeah.
Wow, yeah. I remember, I think I stalked that person too.
I have to blur those people's names because my followers will go, like, harass them now.
Okay. Then maybe I saw it, but there was
you
something
probably didn't see his name, but it was, that I post him on my story all the fucking time.
Okay, well, that was one of my things that I saw. Maybe it was in the shade room or something, and I saw that a person went back at someone and was like, you have a family. Like, you're literally trolling some teenager because you have a family. And I was like, wow. And I remember I stalked someone too. And like, it's these normal people that are probably bitter that they are just in their little middle of America life that kind of maybe wanted to be an artist. Which is
crazy because, like, honestly, I kind of wish my brain was like that, in that I just could be in the suburbs and have a family and work at fucking an insurance company.
I've been there. You don't want it.
I know that I don't want it, but I wish that my brain did want it.
No, we're the kind of people that can have it all, damn it. We could go do fun shit like comedy, and if we eventually want to, like, have kids and shit, we will.
I was on board for the first part of that, but I'm pretty sure I'm written off for the second.
For kids?
Yeah, I don't think that's happening. I don't know. I don't want to bring them into
I don't think it's possible to have it all. I think that as artists, you know, that's what we have to sacrifice. Sometimes you got to sacrifice normal experiences to to do what you do.
I think your brain is wired one of two ways. I think you're happy from a simple life where you're just pouring into your family and that's where your energy goes, or I think you're happy from doing your creative shit. And I think that you end up having to compromise a little bit, but you can never be fully.
Like, when I see people who retire and they go fishing every day and they hate their wife and their kids, I'm like, dude, you could have just been a fisherman. And you're happy every day.
Yeah,
your whole life, you would have been paid to do what you wanted the whole time.
I think the point is like, you don't have to do any of the shit that you think you have to do.
You don't, yeah.
Yeah.
He's like,
sorry, this is a whole.
yeah.
I know. I have to have you
like
back
10 minutes. I'll
on
come
like
back.
really soon so we can literally finish on this topic because this topic, it's literally on my agenda of 3 other topics that we didn't get to because, you know, I'm not Joe Rogan and I'm not going to stay here for another 2 hours so we can get to everything. But yeah, we have to have you back ASAP because this is definitely to be continued. Please.
Fuck yeah. Part one, bitch.
Yeah.
Fuck your rich friends. We get part 2.
Fuck your rich friends. You're getting part 2 for free.
Thank you.
Right?
Well, I mean,
I didn't.
it's not free, but you know, but like,
you're getting it. You're gonna.
I get what you're saying. Yeah, that's free, but you have to listen to our ads.
Yeah, you do.
Listen to the ads. Okay.
If you don't, coming to you.
Okay. That was awkward. I'm like, wait, what are you talking about?
Oh, I thought you were saying
Anyways,
I did make it awkward by staring at the camera and saying, "I'm coming to you."
Oh yes, he's coming to you.
Coming to you.
All right, so. To be continued, guys. Thank you so much for being here. Do you have anything that you want to plug? This releases on Monday.
Okay. Monday, I'm doing a bunch of shows in July. They're on my Instagram story all the time.
And your handle is?
Captain Calvis on Instagram and Twitter. Come check it out. Okay. And come watch it because I'm fucking sick of people.
We'll spell it right quick for the people who only listen to
Captain, you know how to spell that. And then Calvis is Kalvis. And don't ever ask a comic to like, why the fuck didn't you invite me to your shows? Because we promote them all the time. So don't come up to me in person and be like, you didn't invite me. It's like, no, I did by putting it on my Instagram story where you're on all the time. Because that's all we do is shit and scroll. So. But
for our show, you better believe I'm gonna be sending out texts.
I'm promoting the shit out of that.
So come to that show on the 11th, motherfucker.
July 11th. I'll be there. Krystle will be there. Alex is gonna be in the audience.
Complimentary. I got your ticket if you come.
No, I'm buying a ticket. I support art. Be there. The 11th, the Ice House. It's going to be fantastic.
Pasadena, California will be there. We love you guys.
Thanks for listening, guys. Thank you so much. Thank you, Alex. Thank you, Comedy Pop-Up at Comedy Pop-Up. Subscribe, like, all that bullshit. Thank you so much. I love you. I'm Krystle Chats. See you next week.
You guys are my best friends.
Yes.